Man, what a game, what a game, what a game. Game winner by OG. Killer shot. The Raptors win 104-103 against the Boston Celtics in Game 3, and it did not look good. It looked bleak after Theis' dunk with 0.5 seconds on the clock. But Lowry throws a perfect frozen rope pass cross court over 7-6 Tacko fall perfectly into OG Anunoby's pocket in the corner, and OG lets it fly, and Jaylen Brown was right there contesting it. If he was half a second late, that shot would have got blocked or the time would have ran out. And honestly, when I saw the shot going, I was pumped, but then I was also like, does it count? Right? That's also another question, because you don't know if the ball got released in time, and 0.5 seconds isn't a lot of time. It is enough for a catch and shoot, but you never know. Maybe his release is slow or he fumbled the ball a little bit. But after seeing the replay, there was at least 0.1 seconds left on the clock after the ball was released, and a game-saving, series-saving shot by OG Anunoby. And oh man, that was one of the craziest shots, because out of everybody on the court that day, I did not expect OG Anunoby to be hitting a game winner, let alone the game winner that saves us the series and the game right there. Raptors are now down only 2-1 in the series, and Kyle Lowry, we're MVP tonight, but OG Anunoby, your savior, the biggest shot of his life right there, as the Raptors stave off a 3-0 deficit. And you know what? OG Anunoby has been great the past 2 games, and he deserved that jumper and he deserved that shot, because he works hard on the defensive end and on the offensive end. He was hustling, he was diving for balls, created extra possessions, and that 3, after he hit it, he just walked away like, this is what I'm born to do. No surprises here, as Lowry and Van Vliet were the first 2 guys to jump on OG. Lowry's smiles contagious, as everybody's just talking about, that's just the moment that right there. It was epic. It was amazing. Now, there's a lot of things to talk about in this game. First off, the Raptors didn't shoot the ball extremely well, but good enough. Their defense was solid, especially in that second half. A poor first half by the Raptors, and allowed Kemba Walker to 2 buzzer beaters in the first half. First a 3 at the end of the first quarter, and then another 3 at the end of the second quarter, as the Celtics took a 10-point lead going into halftime. Kemba with 17 points at the half. 17 points in the first quarter. And I'm not sure exactly how many points he scored in that second, but he did have a 3, so at least 20 points he had at the halftime. And the Raptors did a great job, along with Nick Nurse, of just changing the game plan. Instead of allowing Kemba Walker to turn the corner on the pick and rolls, they trapped him and let Theis or Rob Williams make the decisions. And you know what? It worked for a while, because Theis isn't a guy that's going to hurt you off the dribble. And the Raptors everybody just rotated, and the Raptors defense got back to the right persons, and that was it. A great adjustment by the Toronto Raptors coaching staff at halftime. That was huge. Second, the Raptors went through a triangle zone, and they also played some box and one on Tatum every now and then, and Kemba Walker as well, just to keep the Boston Celtics guessing on what kind of defensive schemes the Raptors are going to come up with. And you got to hand it to Brad Stevens. He came out with some counters when the Raptors were abusing the zone. Brad Stevens brings out Enes Kanter, and Enes Kanter goes to work on the inside against Serge Ibaka. But otherwise, the zone was efficient, and it did a great job of stifling their offense. And the Raptors got some turnovers and got on the fast break, which is huge for the Raptors. 14 fast break points. As number 1 team in the NBA in fast break points in the regular season, the Raptors definitely needed some easy baskets and getting to the free throw line. Even though the Raptors didn't make all their free throws, they were 9 of 16 from the free throw line. A very piss poor performance from the line there. The Raptors did just enough to win this game. Lowry missed a few free throws. Norman Powell missed 3 free throws. And it was just like OG missed one, and then it was just like continuously the Raptors were missing free throws, but just enough to get the job done today. A couple controversial calls. First off, the Siakam flagrant call on Robert Williams when he went up for the dunk. Siakam kind of like pushed his arm. He tried preventing him from finishing the play, but since I think Robert Williams sat on the floor for a while, I think the referees had to look at it, and then they thought, okay, he wasn't really making a basketball play, and they gave him a flagrant. And then Theis also had a flagrant in the first half where Lowry was trying to set a pick on him, and Theis like turned around and lifted his arm up and hit Lowry in the face with an elbow. And Lowry had to complain to get that call, but he got that flagrant called on Theis. And the last one, which should have been called, which Stan Van Gundy and the commentary were all complaining, like, how come that isn't being really called here? Where Wanamaker drives baseline and then jumps up knee first into the groin of Kyle Lowry. Kyle Lowry is sitting down on the ground in pain, wincing, sitting on the sidelines, and the referees go back to the cameras and check the instant replay, and to no one's surprise, they was given an and one instead. So honestly, I don't know when they're going to call flagrant. I don't know when they're not going to call flagrant. But at this point, I got to tell you that the Raptors team were resilient and fought through that. And there were a few calls going both ways are questionable, but I think a little more questionable calls going the Celtics' way. But nevertheless, you got to win the game, and that's what the Raptors did. No excuses, can't complain to the refs. The Raptors have to get the job done, and they did just that. For those of you who didn't see this game, the OG Anunoby buzzer beater, game-winning 3, you guys probably all saw. That was capped off by a great pass by Kyle Lowry to OG Anunoby in the corner. But before that happened, the Raptors did a great job of just trapping Kemba Walker, but Kemba Walker somehow eludes the double and drives into the lane. Kyle Lowry steps up and prevents Kemba Walker from getting a straight line drive to the rim. And then Siakam, who's right next to Kyle Lowry there, right near the rim, he has to bump down on Theis to prevent the dunk and then head out to Marcus Smart to contest the 3. Instead, he tries taking a shortcut and doesn't bump down on Theis, and then Kemba Walker throws a no-look pass, and then Theis gets the dunk. Kyle Lowry seen frustrated and saying, "What are you doing? You gotta bump down and prevent the easy shot." And at that point, with 0.5 seconds left, it looked bleak, and the Raptors somehow pulled it off. The miracle shot by OG Anunoby. But the other things you gotta look into that the Raptors did today. First off, Terrence Davis didn't play a lot of minutes. First off, a few things that I noticed in this game. First off, Terrence Davis didn't play a single minute. Matt Thomas played in this one, and the Raptors used the zone to hide Matt Thomas, and also tried preventing trying to get into the heads of the Boston Celtics. Bringing on Matt Thomas, you automatically have to guard him. He's Mr. Automatic, and the Celtics had to be closer to him and closing much faster, and that allowed the Raptors to get some easy looks. Matt Thomas created a few open looks as well, and you know what? That could be an option going forward. He's just that target, that scared, that threat that he's on the floor and could make buckets. And this was a game of duos where Kyle Lowry and VanVleet finally had good games together, combined for 56 points, and just great shooting from them. Lowry and VanVleet hit 7 threes in this one. Huge baskets. VanVleet with the 2 back-to-back threes to start the fourth quarter. Lowry with the big timely shots to stop runs and deficits from growing. But it was against Kemba Walker and Jaylen Brown, who were 18 of 30 combined. Excellent, efficient shooting from those two guys. Kemba ends up with 29 points. And Jaylen Brown with 19 points. Both guys great. Jaylen Brown a beast on the defensive end. Really gave Siakam all that he can handle. Siakam made the mistake on the Theis dunk. And honestly, just couldn't score on Jaylen Brown. Whenever he took Jaylen Brown the post, he just struggled. It was just like Jaylen Brown just had his number in this one. He just bodies him up. He's strong. He pushes him away. And Jaylen Brown makes sure not to foul him. And he honestly puts his body in front of the rim and between him and the basket. And Siakam's just frustrated. Can't make any of those small little bunnies and hook shots in the lane. He really struggled there. But he did hit a big three and got to the free throw line a couple times. But he needs to watch out because Norman Powell picks up 3 fouls in the first quarter. Pascal Siakam has 3 fouls in his foul trouble for the entire first half. Got to be careful on when you want to take those fouls and how you want to defend. The Raptors as a team got to defend with their feet, not their hands, reaching in and stuff like that, gambling. It all leads to open shots for the Boston Celtics, and it leads to bad fouls and letting your teammates down because it's just a huge breakdown in your team defense. The Raptors have not been playing well. Maybe it's because the Raptors don't really have that home court advantage that you normally see with the Raptors in the playoffs, and that might be a reason why the Raptors haven't played the best. But another reason why I think the home court really helps is that it helps the bench guys, really, because the bench has been really poor lately. But in this game, Norman Powell really showed up. He hit some big baskets, got some huge and ones from the Raptors. Offense was bleeding. And Norman Powell really stepped it up. Yes, he only had 8 points, but there were 8 big points. And the Raptors really needed that. But the Raptors got to do a better job of stop gambling, stop fouling, and stop jumping on pump fakes, especially Norman Powell. He jumped on way too many pump fakes in this game, and that led to the Boston Celtics getting into the bonus early and really hurt the Raptors in that aspect because the Raptors lost a free throw battle once again. But the Raptors did a great job of limiting Marcus Smart and Jason Tatum in this one. And Jason Tatum, I think, was 6 of 18, and Marcus Smart didn't really have that many big impact plays in this one because he wasn't really noticeable. But that's exactly what you want from your team, and just take away those options. The guys who are killing it, make sure you guys, stop the fire and put out the fire. Pretty much, the Raptors did just that. Some notable things in this game is that Kyle Lowry out of the gate was aggressive, pushed the pace, and whenever VanVleet or Kyle Lowry got the basketball, Nick Nurse was telling him to go, push the pace. Pace was key in this one because the Raptors got 14 fast break points, and it really kind of gave and sparked that energy for the offense. And that's exactly what the Raptors needed because they got earlier into the offense, they broke down the defense, and they got more time to work their sets. Another thing that I saw in this game is Serge Ibaka, who was the Butterfingers in this game. Didn't have it going in the offensive end. Defensively, he wasn't the greatest. He did have that big block there, but it didn't really amount to anything. Gotta expect better from Serge Ibaka, but thankfully, Marc Gasol was much better in this one. He was aggressive in the first quarter, and he was great catching the ball from Kyle Lowry in the pick and rolls, and they were efficient there. Whether Kyle Lowry threw it to the ground or threw it up high, Marc Gasol did a great job of finishing with reverse layups, defending in the second half. But in the first half, Marc Gasol did a poor job of just, hanging back on the Kemba Walker pick and roll, and Kemba Walker just steps into some wide open threes. Need to do a better job of just forcing Kemba Walker to put the ball on the floor or maybe just force him to a mid-range, something like that, instead of just him walking into a three. But Marc Gasol was huge in this one. OG Anunoby, amazing, and Kyle Lowry, MVP. Nick Nurse and the coaching staff did a great job just mixing and matching defensive plays, and a great offensive set drafted by the Raptors coaching staff to win this game. Gotta say, that was a must-win game. The Raptors did just that. Huge win by the Raptors. Make sure you guys like, share, and subscribe to the Raptors Wrap Up. Thank you guys for the 100 subs. We'll keep on going until the next milestone. I appreciate it, guys. Until the next one. Let's get it. Game 4. Let's tie it up. Peace.